One of the worst mistakes that I ever made on my fitness journey was making fitness my number one passion because I thought that that's what would make me grow and improve the most. But the reality is, making fitness my number one passion made the opposite occur. I actually felt a lot of self disrespect and mental anguish during my fitness journey when fitness was my number one passion. And fortunately, within the past few years, I've been able to break out of it. And I'm going to tell you exactly what saved me because I know a lot of other people are going through the same thing. And I'm going to start by telling you my story of when this started and the progression of it and how damaging it really was. So, I first started my self-improvement journey, which was fitness-based. So, it was a self-improvement journey that I started my sophomore year of college. And fitness was like my number one goal for the self-improvement journey. I wanted to get in shape, but I also, wanted other things as well. I wanted discipline, I wanted confidence, I wanted all of that. But I really focused on building a good physique. That was one of my biggest passions. And so I was like, well, if I make fitness my number one passion in my life, I can't lose. And I can get jacked. And I can be happy and I can be confident and all this good stuff. And that's what fitness people say. That's what people in the fitness space say. They say fitness equals confidence, it equals discipline, it equals all this good stuff. Fitness makes your life better. Not when it's your number one passion. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. The biggest problem and the realization that made me realize that fitness cannot be your number one passion is that I started hyperfixating on things like meals and getting enough protein in and hitting every single workout. And if I missed one, it was the end of the world. And I kind of quantified those things as my self-worth. If I missed a meal, if I didn't eat a meal that was high in protein, then I was a loser. If I missed a workout, I was a loser. If I didn't train exactly to failure on that set, then I'm a puss. And that's just not true. But the worst thing was not that stuff. It was that I started to quantify my self-worth based on my physique. And that was the moment that I realized that I had gone too far. And that fitness being my number one passion was causing more harm than good. And I started to quantify my physique being my self-worth. If I looked bad today, that was really bad and I'm a loser. Like, straight up, this is how I talk to myself. This is how I did. And this is not self-improvement, this is self-destruction. Like, in no way is this making me a better person. Maybe I'm getting a good physique, but I'm almost losing my mind in the process. And I am going to clarify that you should care about your health and fitness, but you should also care about other things. And that's the main fix that I made, is that fitness, instead of being my number one passion, it became a big part of my life, and it still is, and it's still one of my number one passions. But instead of becoming the forefront of my life and the number one passion that all I cared about was fitness, instead of that, I started having other passions, like physics, and the outdoors, and traveling, and spending time with family and friends, and watching movies, and sci-fi, and quantum mechanics, all this other cool stuff. Because I've always had these passions. So I started to embrace all of the other passions that I had and not making fitness the number one passion. And these other passions gave me reasons to love myself more. Like for the longest time, when my physique was stalling and my gains were slowing down, I actually started to convince myself that I was stupid for not knowing how to get more jacked. I convinced myself that I was stupid because I wasn't jacked. Are you kidding? But then once I started implementing more of my passions and started thinking more about them and having a bit more of an even divide across my passions in my life, I started to realize that I am actually quite smart. Maybe. Well, I like to think so. If I like science and all this physics and I'm good at it, it's like, well, there's other reasons to have self-worth than just my physique. And that's the big takeaway from this video is don't make fitness your only passion. And certainly, like what I did, do not make your physique do not quantify your self-worth based on your physique. You can enjoy other stuff in your life and take fitness seriously. Take your health and fitness seriously. Absolutely. I still do. Bodybuilding is a major passion of mine still, but don't make it number one. And because when it becomes number one, you start to quantify your whole personality and self-worth based on your fitness. And fitness is a great hobby, but it should not be the thing that you define yourself by. Fitness needs to be a part of your life, not control it. So I hope this gave you some value and taught you something that I learned the hard way. I'm actually doing a lot better now, but I hope that anyone out there on their fitness journey takes this. Please take this seriously, because this can damage you if you go the wrong direction, just like I did. Anyway, I just wanted to share that. Thank you guys for watching.